Hello and welcome to Mabina TV. This is the home of Compassionate Conservatism, in which you advocate for a fine balance, a sweet spot between individual creative genius excellence as afforded by capitalism and society excellence as afforded by equality of opportunity. So, in essence, we are calling for capitalism with a human first. That is capitalism with a human first. So, for now, I like to start with Africa perspectives, and in Africa perspectives, I'm simply asking why DR Congo is estimated to be the mineral potential for DR Congo is estimated to be $30 trillion. That's according to the CIA fact book. So why is it that these minerals are not benefiting the people of Congo? Of course, the former prime minister, the first prime minister of DR Congo, Patrice Lumumba, was assassinated and his body dismembered into 30 parts because he asked why the minerals of DR Congo are not helping its people so very much. And I think the uranium that made the atomic bombs that went to bomb Japan was sourced from DR Congo. So DR Congo has a mineral potential of about $30 trillion. So why is DR Congo such a poor country? Why is it? I think the story of DR Congo, by and large, is the story of Africa, that we produce what we don't consume and we consume what we don't produce. So basically, the story of DR Congo, I would think, is the story of Africa. We don't value add. We don't value add our minerals. Basically, for Africa to be rich, just imagine the coltan, the cobalt from DR Congo is the one that makes our mobile phones. Yet, DR Congo does not have a single mobile phone company, does not have a single computer factory. So basically, the minerals that DR Congo makes, the minerals don't benefit its people. And I think for Africa then to be able to prosper, then the minerals have to help the African people. Simply, it is as simple as that. The minerals in Africa have to help the African people. So basically, you have basically, you have, I think for that to happen, there needs to be value addition on the mineral resources of DR Congo. So titanium needs to be converted to aeroplane parts. Then uranium has to be converted to nuclear power. Gold and diamonds have to be converted to jewelry. Chocolate, that is cocoa, has to be converted to chocolate. And I think copper has to be converted to electronic parts. And I think basically coffee has to be converted to coffee drinking things. And I think if that happens, then basically DR Congo will be the richest country in the world. Basically, at $30 trillion, I think the United States economy is about $20 trillion, and I think the Chinese economy is about $17 trillion. So Africa, really, DR Congo has the potential to be the richest country in the world. But why doesn't it? Basically, why doesn't DR Congo value add its minerals? And I think peace is of paramount. There is no peace in DR Congo. Some say the instability in DR Congo is fueled by the West, is fueled by the big multinational companies so that they can take away the minerals from DR Congo at throwaway price. I think big companies get minerals from DR Congo at throwaway prices. So maybe they don't want that peace to be in the Congo, but I would hope that basically DR Congo emerges. And I think Belgium, the former colonial power, was not so much. Was hesitant to hand over independence to DR Congo. I think at independence, DR Congo had only about two doctors and 9 engineers. So you can imagine, two doctors and 9 engineers is what DR Congo had. So it didn't have basically the country has experienced a lot of instability. The country was not prepared for independence. Belgium still considers DR Congo as its backyard. So basically, the mineral resources from DR Congo go to benefit. And I think it is said that DR Congo has minerals. It has rainfall. It could you call it as the soils are very fertile. And I think little wonder then that DR Congo really does not deserve the poverty. DR Congo does not deserve the poverty that encumbers it. And I think for DR Congo, then it has to be that country that shines. And I think what we need then in Africa is value addition of our minerals. I think cotton that is produced in Uganda goes on to create about 13 times more jobs in Italy than in Uganda. So you can imagine, without value addition, then Africa will be poor as it can be. And I think, just imagine, if DR Congo is worth about $30 trillion, then I think the whole of Africa could be about $200 trillion. So you can imagine, Africa can be very, very rich. And I think if that is will happen only with value add, titanium to mineral to aeroplane parts. And I think if that happens, so what Africa needs to be developed is the technical capacity to mine these minerals. Africa does not have that technical ability. It's not even money that makes Africa not be able to mine these minerals. I think what Africa needs is to have the technical ability to be able to mine, not only mine these minerals. Now it is these minerals are being auctioned off to China, and I think that is why you have this Chinese diplomacy in Africa wanting to take over from where they were slaves, and I don't think that augurs well for Africa. So I think for DR Congo, it is a sleeping giant. It has the potential. Look at River Congo. River Congo, if a hydroelectric power plant is built at Inga Dam in River Congo, then it could supply the whole of Africa with electricity. That is, if River Congo has a dam is built at Inga Dam, then it could supply the whole of Africa with electricity. And I would hope that basically Africa that becomes a project of the African Union. But the drawback is that the African Union is just a club of dictators. It is not something that the African Union is not fixated in the development of Africa. I think it has subsided. Then you look at the Africa Development Bank, AFDB. It is supposed to be an Africa bank, but then you have African countries having minority shares in the African bank, and you had Adesina, you had the head of the AFDB. Adesina was about to be removed by the Trump regime. So basically, I will hope that Africa needs a Marshall Plan. So we start with the Congo. It's a place. At the very least, we build that Inga Dam at River Congo so that it supplies the whole of Africa with electricity. So that's it for the Africa perspectives. And now into making America, Joe Biden is trailing Donald Trump by about in key battleground states, and some are saying that basically Joe Biden is sleeping behind the polls. I think 3 polls released by different polling organizations have showed that Joe Biden is trailing Donald Trump by about 4 to 6 percentage points. So basically, Joe Biden, who is the thing about Joe Biden is that a lot of his supporters are not so enthusiastic as the supporters of Donald Trump. So basically, the supporters of Joe Biden are not so enthusiastic as the supporters of Donald Trump. I think Trump supporters are cat-like, and I think what we need to do then is to be able for Joe Biden to marshal his support. And people say that his age is his undoing, basically, that he is too old to seek re-election. And I think Joe Biden does not come across as likable, but of course he does not energize his base, and I think it will be difficult. I think there are concerns that Joe Biden could lose his re-election bid in 2024. That is why Trump camp is so important. The Trump camp is so important. They think that basically Joe Biden is a one-term president, and you have President Trump, even though he faces all this baggage about 91 criminal charges, then for Donald Trump, those cases, it seems, are what is spurring him to go forward. And I think no one, the supporters of Donald Trump are not, the supporters of Donald Trump are not even discouraged by the many cases that President Trump is facing. I think they want Donald Trump to return to the White House. They say Donald Trump is fighting the deep state, and that is why his cases. They say that Donald Trump is fighting the deep state, and that is why they don't want nothing to do with Donald Trump. They say Trump is fighting the deep state. He is fighting to remove the Obama and the Bush leftovers, and I think he is running on a platform of America First. Of course, Donald Trump, in his Truth Social messages, says that America is a country on decline. That's the message according to Donald Trump on his Truth Social account. Donald Trump says America is a country on decline, and so basically that means that basically Donald Trump wants to return the White House, bring back the greatness of America. Of course, and now you have that division within the Republican Party between the Trump Orthodox Trumpists, those who will take a bullet any day for Donald Trump. Then you have the hybrid Republicans. These are Republicans that have accepted the reign of Donald Trump within the Republican Party, but they want him to trim his rough edges. They want Donald Trump basically to mute his low vibrational energy, to round off his rough edges, and then basically they have accepted him as the leader of the Republican Party, but they want Donald Trump to round off his rough edges. And then you have the third camp within the Trump circles. You have the third camp that is basically the third camp is basically the establishment Republicans. These are people who will never forgive. These are the Republicans. They are called Rhino Republicans. Republicans in name only. These are Republicans that basically will do anything. They accuse Donald Trump of taking away their party, taking over their party and turning it into a Trump personality cult. So you can imagine those are basically those three comes within the Republican Party, but I think Trump Orthodox Trump is about 40%. But I think some mainstream Republicans left the party, so maybe, but not in significant numbers as to alter. Donald Trump is leading the primary race. Donald Trump is basically leading the primary race. In the primary opinion polls, Donald Trump is up by about 40 percentage points. So even the likes of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis are not, and of course Nikki Haley are not. They are not anywhere near Donald Trump in terms of their polling numbers, and so I think this is going to this is going to the lead by Donald Trump seems unassailable. But of course, then as people say that polling numbers, it is about 3 months to the January caucus of Iowa, and they say basically that polls may change anytime, but I don't think they'll change. Trump will at least be, at the very least, be the Republican nominee. That is Donald Trump, at the very least, will be the Republican nominee, but will be the Republican nominee. So people are expecting, I think, people are expecting that Ron DeSantis will be the alternative candidate, but that does not happen. It is Nikki Haley that basically is becoming the alternative candidate. You had the leader of the head of DeSantis, the head of DeSantis basically Parker, Super Parker, that he never backed down, resigned. So basically, he said he does not have the tenacity to do that job. So basically, you can't see a free reign of Donald Trump within the Republican Party. So I think in the opinion polls, Trump is leading Biden in key battleground states, and I think for President Biden, then he has to be concerned. Why is it that he is trailing? I think he's, of course, people are forgetting his achievement. I think you had Biden having a group of creators. You had President Biden having a group of is it TikTok creators basically trying to maybe control the narrative. And I think at this point Biden maybe says he has achieved. Those who are talking for Biden, his campaign officials are saying he has achieved so many things. But then again, there are no people. There are no people to talk for Joe Biden. That's why he is quoting these creators on YouTube. These creators on TikTok. So, do you think Trump Joe Biden is trading Donald Trump in key battleground states? So, do you think this will hold on until the general election in November next year in 2024? So, 2024, we're going to watch that closely. Then I'll move over to ideas. And in the ideas, what is the future of adult learning? You have schools such as Columbia School of General Studies, you have Yale Ellie Whitney program, and then you have the Brown returning students RUE program. So basically, these are colleges that allow for non-traditional students to be admitted. So basically, you have in the Columbia School of General Studies, it admits students, veterans who have had a break in their academic journey. Maybe they were employed, or maybe they were sickly, they were employed, and so that is the Columbia School of General Studies, but some accuse that school, Columbia School of General Studies, that basically it does not provide the stats to the ranking body. So basically, they say that because they fear that it is going to dilute Columbia's quality, it is going to bring down the rankings of Columbia University. It's opposed to Columbia College. In Columbia College, which admits students straight from high school, but the Columbia School of General Studies admits non-traditional students. I think just like the Yale Ellie Whitney program, and also that is a Brown RUE program. So basically, in these programs, I think what will happen then, the learning will be lifelong. So basically, we will be, and I think the thing with today's knowledge is that basically you have and the thing with today's knowledge is that knowledge expires as soon as you leave the classroom, especially in fast-pacing fields such as computer science and information technology, information sciences. In computer science, knowledge expires as soon as you move away as soon as you graduate, as soon as you move, you take that class, knowledge has become extinct, and maybe that is why learning will be lifelong. Look at emerging fields such as artificial intelligence, AI, basically artificial intelligence is going to kill a lot of jobs. But then again, that was the fear that was when the industrial revolution happened. There was a fear that machines are going to replace human beings. Machines are going to replace human beings, but that did not happen. And so we had that did not happen. So machines destroyed a lot of physical jobs, but then of course so many other jobs were created around the industrial revolution. And I think the economy, the world economy right now is structured around the industrial revolution. And I think right now the fear of AI, but I think it will kill millions of jobs, especially repetitive and routine jobs. I think right now artificial intelligence will kill repetitive and will kill repetitive and routine jobs, but I think in the same process also it will create a lot of jobs. So basically, I think learning will be lifelong, and I think learning will be online also. Maybe the big research universities, the big elite universities such as Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, MIT, they don't want to shift they don't want to shift their learning away from the classroom. So they maybe their brand recognition is built on exclusivity, but then maybe they will have to open their spaces online. You had edX between that is the online where the online courses from Harvard and MIT. edX, although I think it was sold to a private company. You have edX, then you have Coursera. Basically, you have Coursera. Then you have Code Academy. So you have Coursera, you have edX. Basically, where the teaching materials and course lectures are being offered for free. And I think you have millions of students signing up for these courses. So you let me know on the future of adult learning. And then finally, in Heart and Soul. In Heart and Soul, what does it take to be the salt of the world? What does it take for Christians to be the salt of the world? I think that means that Christians have to make impact wherever in the world they are in. And I think you had Jesus saying that basically you cannot light a candle and put it under the table, or a city on the hill. Christians need to be that city on the hill, and that basically shines wherever it is, so people can see it. So if we lose our saltness, then we cease to be of importance as Christians. And this is a call to be impactful in the world. This is a call to be for Christians to be impactful in the world. And I think that is the way we will have Christians that see a light where others only see darkness. And I think in this case, then that is the way we could that is the way we could basically be Christians of impact. And I think if we are Christians of impact, then basically we will be having an impact in the world. And I think that's how other people are going to be saved. That's how other people are going to turn to God. And I think if we are the salt of the world, then Christians will be making impact in the world. They will be doing exploits. You have the Bible verse saying that them that know me will shall do exploits. I think that's a verse in the Bible, that them that know the Lord shall be doing exploits. And I think that is the way we could that is the way we could have Christians that are impactful in the world. So Christian, what do you think about this first, that Christians should be the salt of the world? So that this has been Mabinda TV, and this is Mabinda TV, where this is where I have been looking in Africa perspectives, the riches of the Congo. Why are they not exploited? In the Making America, then I've looked at how Joe Biden is trailing Donald Trump by very significant margins in the key battleground states. In the ideas I've looked at, that is the future of water planning, especially with these three schools: Columbia School of General Studies, Yale Whitney program, and I think Brown RUE program, and then finally how Christians can be the salt of the world. So this has been Mabinda TV. This is home of compassionate conservatism, in which advocate for a fine balance as it's between individual creative genius excellence as afforded by capitalism and society excellence as afforded by equality of opportunity. So in essence, we are calling for capitalism with a human first. That is capitalism with a human first.